Welcome to Denton, Texas, where with a little bit of sadness I am listing this vehicle that is my vehicle. I purchased it in January of 2020, right at the outset of the pandemic, and I've driven it for 3.5 years. I bought it with 108,000 miles on it from the original owner. It was a one-owner truck, and now it has, I believe, 137,000 miles on it, and it has been meticulously, mechanically maintained, and still looks pretty good for a 30-year-old truck. Has some minor bumps and bruises. Before I get ahead of myself, though, it is a 1991 Chevrolet Silverado, and it's a very good looking truck still, and it comes before much of the electronics that made vehicles unreliable in later years. This still has the throttle body injection, fuel injection on it, and it's a very simple system, and I have no idea why GM went to injectors on every cylinder, because I don't see the gas mileage difference. I get about 19 miles to the gallon on the highway in this truck with a 350 in it, and probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 14, 15 in the city. So it's been a reasonably fuel economical vehicle, but at the same time, you go to these newer vehicles with the modern injection systems, and the fuel mileage is about the same. I know that there's some horsepower gains, but at the same time, there's also a lot more expense, a lot more complexity. Here's the inside of it. You can see how beautiful this inside interior is, including the headliner. And one thing you're going to get about this truck is somebody who actually knows about it. That is a dash cover, if you care to use it. It's off right now, and you can see the carpet, the door panels, everything is in really good condition. And I should mention that a friend of mine did ceramic tint on all the windows, so it's relatively cool inside here. And I'm going to start it up, and I'll show you. All the gauges work. The oil pressure gauge does that, pegs out quite often, and that's in the sending unit, and that's been the way it's acted since I own this truck, and it's pretty common for these. There's the radio. Oh, and by the way, that equalizer and tape deck still work. So it's a very stock and functional truck. So if you need something for work or whatever, this is a great vehicle to start with. I'm going to show you the door locks. You can see them lock and unlock. We'll do the driver's side window. Show you the passenger side window. Let's see. With the, I don't know if you can hear the fan speeds, but there's medium, there's low. That all works. And everything in this truck works. Now I will tell you, there's things that, like the radio, sometimes you can't adjust the volume, you can't change the station until you turn the truck off and then turn it back on again, and then it all works again. And I know it has something to do with some resistor. It's common in these trucks, and something needs to be done to resolve that, so you won't have those problems occurring with you. I did have the dash. It had a resistor, some resistors that fried, and they fixed that. There's a place in Arlington, Texas that little I drove in there unannounced, and in 3 hours I was back on the road again with my original dash repaired and functioning again for, I think it was $275. As far as things in the truck, the starter, I'm going to show you all that. I replaced the starter and I replaced every single component in the cooling system, starting with the radiator, upper lower radiator hoses, thermostat, and you can see how clean this engine bay is. It's not fanatically clean, but it's very clean. It's not covered with oil or anything. It's very dry, and if I wanted to get down on this baking hot asphalt where it's 100 and something degrees today, I could show you the underneath. There is zero rust on this truck. Zero even surface rust. There's very little of that. It's super clean. It's been a Texas truck its entire life. And back to so all the radiator hoses, the radiator, the thermostat, the heater hose going through the firewall, all of that has been changed in the last year. And I replaced the battery about 2 years ago, and I replaced the starter, and other than that, this truck is as I purchased it. I know that the previous owner did convert it to R134A, and he put a new compressor in it, because that was all pretty and had the labels on it and everything. And another thing, in addition to you can see the bed. Oh, underneath that, this truck has had a bed mat on it since it was new, and the paint underneath this bed doesn't have a single dent in it. I mean, it was on it since new, and it's in excellent condition. So let's see. I'll demonstrate the cruise control working, but just there's the horn, there's the windshield wipers. Let's see what else. You know, the heat, I don't want to turn that on. It's way too hot out today. But all that stuff works. There's the cigarette ashtrays, never been used. That all looks good. And I didn't get crazy with detailing this truck. I just sort of cleaned it up. This is the original owner's manual, and those are a bunch of receipts in there for things that have been done, documenting it. And I can even take you to the place where it was routinely, all the fluids were checked and oil was changed, etc. for the past 3.5 years. So it's a very reliable truck. I would not tell you that if it wasn't so. As I've told my friends who say, oh, you drive a 30-year-old truck? This was my only vehicle. I would respond, I would drive this truck to Alaska tomorrow if there was a need to. I mean, it is extremely reliable. It's got a lot of power, runs exceptionally well, isn't a rattle trap. You're not going down the road hearing a bunch of rattle noises, etc. And you can see right there, even in this 100-degree heat today, and it's been sitting here idling with the AC on, that's where it sits as far as the temperature gauge. So you're not buying a vehicle from somebody, just complete stranger. I'm an honest person, and I would not tell you something that wasn't true about this truck. So if you're interested, give me a call. There will be a listed number on this video, and there will be Craigslist ads as well. And make sure to tune in for the test drive video, because there will be one that follows. Thank you for tuning in.